Here's a quick overview of the user interface in Slippity. If you're in portrait mode on an iPad or on an iPhone, you will see it looks similar to the left column here in landscape mode on an iPad. At the top, or in the upper left in this case, we have the viewer, which shows a live preview of everything that will be displaying on your extended or secondary display that you have hooked up. Below that, we have the toolbar with a few little icons that we'll step through in a moment. Below the toolbar, there are two tabs, one where you can view playlists and library items. Library items are individual presentations. They could be uh, a collection of slides or songs or whatever the case is. And playlists are collections of individual library items. The viewer in the upper left supports a few gestures for navigation. So you can see in the thumbnail section, you can click through independently with the slides, and foreground elements and background elements trigger independently. So here's a slide with a background element. So you see the foreground and the background cue changes the background, while these other slides only have foreground elements on them. In the viewer, you can navigate by swiping side to side, or by tapping left or right on the display, as well as you can hide the foreground by swiping down and then swiping up to reveal it again, like that. Now, if you happen to want to present by having this bigger, you can pinch out on the viewer to make the preview full screen as it would be if you turned your iPhone horizontal. And the same gestures are supported for fading out the foreground, taps, and so on. And then you can pinch to zoom back out and put that back in the corner there. Below the viewer, the toolbar, you will see this plus icon. And depending on what you have selected, it performs a couple different things. So if you have your playlist folder selected, tapping the plus icon will prompt you to create a new empty playlist, which you can populate with library items. If you have a playlist selected, you will see now it changes to say the title of the selected playlist. While you're inside of a playlist, pressing the plus icon will bring up a pane on the right of available library items that you can add to your current playlist by tapping them like this. Then inside the library tab, you can tap the plus sign to create a new blank presentation. Now there's a couple other ways to add library items, and mainly in the search. So you see by pulling up the search, you can search not only local library items, and you can quickly add them to the currently selected playlist by tapping the gray icon to the right, or pull them up for viewing inside the library. But you also can search for scriptures, such as Psalms. I'm going to just put Psalm 1. You can also type in, a reference if you're looking for something specific. This will pull up available Bible matches on the right, and you can actually go ahead and tap through and display them live. This makes great for looking up verses on the fly. You can change the translation up here. You can also add verses by holding down one of them and selecting multiple verses, and then adding to the currently selected presentation. So now you can put the scripture in line, and you can style it if you want, or whatever the case is. Now say you want to edit this presentation. While a presentation is selected, that's where the pencil icon comes in handy. So pressing that, you will see there are two modes. One is text flow, which, since we have a presentation that has non-text elements in it, we don't have that as an option, but I'll show you that in a minute. In the main flow, we have the option here to drag and rearrange, or you can delete certain slides in here that you don't want in. You also can add or import new media from your camera roll, or you can add a YouTube video that will play back in line. Now I'm going to select a different presentation here that is a text-only one so you can see what the text flow editor looks like. And it looks like this. And so now you basically have running text that you can add line breaks to create slide breaks, such as like this. Now you see where it says empty-handed, empty-handed. So now we've created a slide break. And so you can lay out, copy, paste your text in there as you like. You also can change your font style, sizing, justification, color, and so on in here for your text presentations. And lastly, is just handy to have. You can see this little X up here blacks out your presentation. So if something goes haywire, you can always hit that to block it out temporarily until you solve the problem. So that's a quick overview, and check out some of the other videos for some more in-depth features.